After our pre-assessment, I wanted to go back over how timelines work. It's about time. History is the study of time. The essential question for today's short video: how do we use a timeline in our study of history? Here's the vocab you need to know. The timeline, graphic representation or visual image of the passing of time. BCE or BC on a timeline, they are all the years before the imaginary zero. BCE means before Common Era, and BC means before the birth of Christ from Christianity. AD or CE on a timeline, they're all the years after zero. CE means the Common Era, and AD means Anno Domini, in the year of our Lord. If you need to pause this and write this down, you may. Time by itself is tough. There's no easy way to define time. You can't see it, you can't hear it, smell it, touch it, or taste it, but you can feel it and its effects. Our bodies age and trees grow, and the homework is definitely going to be due. Our study of social studies has to begin with a look at time. History begins as an account of the past. Events that took place yesterday are now in the past. Today is called the present, but when tomorrow comes, what happened today will be the past itself. Timelines are just a tool to help aid in the visualizing of time. We divide the timeline into parts to show particular years. For historians, timelines help visualize events next to one another. By placing events on a timeline, you can see when they happen, when you can pinpoint which one happened first. They help us order the past. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to create this timeline with me. You can do it in your mind, or you can do it on paper if you have it. First thing you need to do, draw a horizontal line and divide it in the middle. Okay? You're going to divide that division point is going to be labeled 0. It's an imaginary year, year 0. Now, you're going to add 3 lines to the left and 3 lines to the right. For the exercise, each line that you add to the left and right is equal to 100 years. Now, find the year 100 on your timeline. There should be 2 of them. If you look at the timeline, there are 2 year 100s. So how does that work? So if you don't know what you're talking about, just saying the year 100 would be kind of confusing. So how do we determine which is to the left and which is to the right? In order to avoid this problem, historians agreed that there would be an imaginary 0, and that would refer to the beginning of the Common Era, or the birth of Christ from Christianity. So all the years to the left are referred to as before the Common Era, or BCE, or even before the birth of Christ, BC. And all the years to the right, Anno Domini, or AD, in the year of our Lord, or the Common Era, CE. Now you can use the timeline to locate dates and visualize their place in history. The first one, 323 BC, the death of Alexander the Great. 323 BC means that it happened 323 years before the birth of Christ, or before the Common Era. 120 AD, that is the height of the Roman Empire. Now, 120 AD is Anno Domini, after Christ was born, or in the Common Era, CE, 120 years from that imaginary 0. Guys, I hope this helps you visualize, maybe think about a little bit more on how timelines work. We're going to get another chance to retake that assessment. That way you guys can prove to me you know a little bit more than you did to begin with.